Welcome. You are listening to the Play Big Queen podcast. This is for you if you are a woman who is an entrepreneur, business owner, professional, leader, or someone who is deeply committed to personal growth, self-improvement, transformation, and living authentically. This is especially for you if you have an invisible disability, whether you are diagnosed, undiagnosed, self-diagnosed, or late diagnosed, and you are working on reclaiming your neurodivergent identity, rebuilding confidence, learning what works for your unique brilliance while breaking free from small people-pleasing conditioning. If you are a visionary change maker interested in advancing your leadership and creating success on your terms, and you want to leave a legacy, if you are navigating disability or neurodiversity as an individual or as an ally, and you are looking for a supportive and inclusive environment to thrive, then this is for you. I am your hostess, Kate Bailey. I am the Play Big Queen. My name is my title and a command for all women. Play Big Queen. I invite you to claim this title for yourself and coronate your Play Big self too, if it serves you. I am a business and embodiment mentor working with women who are ready to rise the fuck up and be your bold, beautiful, sexy ass self, start and grow your big, bold vision, and claim that you too get to have your boldest desires. I am the creatrix of Kate Bailey LLC, which provides coaching services, educational courses, products, and experiences that promote success in neurodiversity advocacy, women's empowerment, embodiment, entrepreneurship, and business to serve women on their transformational journey. To learn more about my company offerings and to get on my email list, go to xxxkatebailey.com. If you would like to learn more about my work, my personal values, my mission, and my community, make sure you catch the last 5 minutes of this episode to go deeper and learn so much more. On this podcast, sometimes we will have guests. Sometimes I'll do solo episodes, but every single time you listen, you will expand. So get ready. It's a new era for women on the Play Big path. Long may we reign. Why, hello, my queen. I can't see you, but I can feel your energy, and you are juicy AF today. Even if you don't feel like it, take a moment to just revel in the fact that you get to be you. And while you're doing that, I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Play Big Queen podcast, where we talk about confidence, business embodiment, and stepping into your full power and walking out life, leadership, and business from the embodied state of your Play Big self. And this month, it's Women's Empowerment Month. It's a time for big moves, bold choices, and celebrating the brilliance that we bring to the world. And personally, March is extra special for me because I am turning 44 years old this month. And today we're diving into something exciting: how professional women, especially those already thriving in corporate, can start designing a business that truly works for them. So you can start pouring your precious time, money, and energy into something that is aligned with your true purpose. So we can start building an environment that feels juicy and takes the pressure off. Because the truth is, success is not about hustle. It's about alignment. And when you build a business that supports your energy, how you work, your creativity, your unique creative process, how you flow, and your natural strengths, that's when you can stop going through the motions. That's when we stop living life on autopilot. And that's where we start to truly blossom and thrive. So if you're ready and bold enough to start making your exit strategy from the corporate world into entrepreneurship in a way that is powerful, strategic, and completely on your terms, then you're going to love this episode. So let's get started. First of all, I want to talk about why this feels harder than it should and how you can reclaim your power. Before we get into strategy, it's important to talk about something deeper, because if you're a woman stepping into entrepreneurship, you might have felt some resistance, either internally or externally. And Queen, allow me to reassure you that is not a you problem. That is patriarchal conditioning. Historically, women weren't expected or even allowed to own a business, manage money, have a credit card, buy a house, or build any kind of wealth. My mother, Anne Alfino, she was an Italian seamstress at a bridal shop in Long Island, New York. When she got older, she went to go buy the bridal shop called Lilette's in Baldwin with her lifelong friend Donna. My mom doesn't own the shop anymore and sold it when she was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer. She's okay now. My mom is a fighter. But at the time, when she went to go buy the bridal shop, my grandfather, who I absolutely adore and is a part of my spiritual support squad, this man who I looked up to the most, asked my mom, "Why would you want to do that? You're a married woman, Annie. I just don't understand why you would want a business." And my grandfather, may he rest in peace, like so many of us do, had some patriarchal conditioning and thoughts about where women should be and what they should or shouldn't do. And I truly am grateful that my mother went ahead and bought the business and ran it anyways, because that was such a great example of how to navigate external resistance and do what you're going to do anyways. But it's still a challenge for so many women. Patriarchal conditioning and those thoughts about what we should or shouldn't do or where we should be are baked into the very fabric and structure of how our society runs. Even today, the systems that we operate in were designed without women in mind. Think about it. For centuries, women's labor has been unpaid, unseen, or undervalued. From caregiving to emotional labor, we've been conditioned to believe that work only matters if it's profitable to someone else. Business cultures were built on masculine productivity models. The 9-to-5 grind, it's built to support the male 24-hour testosterone hormone cycle, not the female 28-day cycle. Hustle culture, success measured only by output. None of that considers the unique ways that women, and especially neurodivergent women and women with invisible disabilities, work best. Women also receive significantly less funding and investment than men. Studies show that women entrepreneurs get less than 3% of venture capital funding, even though women-led businesses are more profitable in the long run. So if you've ever felt like you've had to prove yourself, work harder, or ask for permission just to take up space as a business owner, that is not on accident. That is social conditioning, which is purposely designed to keep you small. But Queen, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to sit in victimhood about it. We're not going to let it take up rent in our brains, because playing big isn't about waiting for the system to change. It's about recognizing the system for what it is and deciding to build your own lane and deciding that you get to be successful anyway. And in your success, you will be a part of the change. Because when you decide to step into your own power and create success on your terms, you're not just winning for yourself. You're rewriting the rules for every woman who comes after you. The future of work is truly in your hands. Your future, whether you want to work or not, is up to you. We are in an era where women are redefining what success looks like. The old model, the one-size-fits-all schedules, rigid corporate structures, and success measured by output alone, yeah, that's over. The most innovative, high-impact businesses today are being built by women who understand that working with their strengths, not against them, is the key to long-term success and business longevity. And as much as we have these political figures who are openly devaluing women at a new critical mass lately, on the flip side, more leaders are amplifying their understanding and recognition of the power of neurodivergent innovation and the diverse and dynamic thinking and collaborative power that women bring to the table. More and more women entrepreneurs are proving that impact and income do not have to come at the expense of our well-being. And when you own your brilliance and build a business that honors your strengths, your preferences, and your needs, you create something sustainable, scalable, and deeply fulfilling. So I think it's important to talk about how to build a business that aligns with how you work best from like the earliest possible stages, right? It's important to know that entrepreneurship isn't about leaving something behind. It isn't about leaving corporate. It's about creating something greater. It's about building something that's built for you, not a system that was never designed with you in mind. So let's talk about strategy. From the beginning, step one is you have to define your play big vision. And in order to do that, ask yourself, what impact do I want to make in the world or even just in my life, right? What kind of work excites me? Who is the community I want to serve? And what change do I want to create in that community? What change do I want to be known for facilitating? And then also ask yourself, what does my ideal day look like? Take a moment to really write it out, all the details, like from when you get up to when you go to sleep. What kind of sheets are you waking up in the bed with? Where are you waking up? Who are you waking up with? What time are you waking up? What's the first thing you're going to do when you wake up? Go into all the details of your most juiciest day. You're going to find that a lot of the things that you're going to put down in your juiciest day might be accessible starting now. It might be something you can start to practice on the weekends or on your off days. You might be able to start baking in pleasure that re-energizes you and refills your cup instead of just like going home and burning out from your work week on the couch with Netflix. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, stay with me here. We're talking about the bigger vision for your life. And that can still include Netflix and ice cream. But if you're still listening to this podcast, I'm guessing you have this like been there, done that, want to see more kind of attitude already. It's so important to envision what that day would look like because your business should be built around your vision and what you want for your life, not anyone else's expectations. Yes, if you are going to be in a reciprocal relationship with the people your business aims to serve, basic marketing rules remind us that we have to consider what your people, what your community wants and needs. But it can't be at the expense of how you authentically work or how you want your life to be. Because going into entrepreneurship to do your life's work aligned with your purpose, this is about designing a life, mission, and business that fills your cup, fuels your creativity, and fuels your autonomy and your joy. Step two in this is you've got to structure your business for sustainability. I know it's not always so sexy, but sustainability is going to be the thing that'll make you successful. And in order to get sustainable, we have to think about flexible revenue streams. Oh my gosh, 3 very sexy words. Flexible revenue streams, right? So think beyond just like one-on-one services. Can you create courses or group programs or digital products that generate income in multiple ways? If you create scheduling that is aligned scheduling will help your business be structured for sustainability. So like think about what work rhythms feel natural to you. Do you have a time of day where your energy is at the peak or your creative energy is at the peak? For me, I've noticed it's typically around 11 a.m. every single day. So I know if I work during that time period, it's going to be my most creative. I'm not going to be banging my head against the wall or dragging my feet. I'm going to have plenty of energy to do what I'm here to do. Building your business to honor your natural rhythms instead of forcing yourself into a structure that drains you is everything. If you're not a part of the 5 a.m. club, then plan to get up at 7 and work out after work. It's not worth it. And this is coming from someone who can be quite the authoritarian with herself, right? Like, yes, success takes discipline, but we're talking about a new type of discipline, a discipline of self-care and your creative flow and your strengths integrated into your work. Because if you're not disciplined around that, if you're not disciplined about caring for yourself and rest, then what happens is when we leave corporate to go start our businesses, we unconsciously wind up creating more of the same because that's all we know. We start packing our schedules. We start forcing ourselves to wake up at ungodly hours. And it's not to catch a pretty sunrise or to swim naked in the ocean. It's to do work that our bodies don't want to be doing at that hour. And then before we know it, our behaviors and patterns and automatic choices have just recreated another little business monster that feels just like it felt when we were working in corporate. And that brings me to my next point about structuring your business for sustainability. We have to have intentional growth when it comes to our business and entrepreneurship. The best businesses, they are not rushed. They are built with clarity and confidence and long-term vision. Making a snap decision to make some money and capitalize on an opportunity you see in the market is very different than settling into your life's work. For sustainable, lifelong work filled with purpose that brings you joy, we need to be growing intentionally, and we need to slow down and be present with ourselves so we can see what actually nourishes us, helps us show up the best, fuels our creativity, and gets us into our play big selves. And then the third step to getting into entrepreneurship from corporate would be start before you're ready, because momentum comes from action, right? You don't need a perfect plan. And you also don't need to jump all the way the fuck in without being informed. But what you do need is commitment to start. You gotta commit and get decided that you get to explore this. You get to take a shot at doing this scary thing and testing your ideas. And you get to try offering services part-time and start slowly building your audience. Those first small steps that take a big amount of courage are what makes the rest of everything that you truly desire possible. And there is no better time than now to take action. March is the perfect month to start for so many reasons, right? March is Women's Empowerment Month, so there's an entire global movement behind you. Spring is about renewal and fresh energy and fresh ideas and new possibilities. Of course, honor your own timing, but also allow yourself to get into the energy of what is happening in the natural world around you, because you are also nature. And if you want your true nature to unfold, letting yourself get in sync with the universe and taking actions one step at a time is the best way to do it. And also, I'm turning 44 this month, which means I am reflecting on everything I've learned, and I want you to step into your next level with me here. And speaking of next level, women's empowerment, all that stuff, before I wrap up this episode, I want to take a moment to highlight an issue that is deeply tied to women's economic and personal freedom. Period poverty. If you're not familiar with it, period poverty refers to the lack of access to menstrual products, hygiene facilities, education, and resources that are needed to manage menstruation safely and with dignity. It affects people who menstruate, particularly those in low-income communities, leading to issues such as limited access to pads, tampons, menstrual cups, or other hygiene products needed, lack of clean water, sanitation, and private restrooms, stigma and shame surrounding menstruation, and missed school or work due to inadequate period management. Period poverty is a global issue that impacts education, health, and economic opportunities. Many organizations advocate for free or affordable menstrual products, menstrual health education, and policy changes to combat this issue. The Delta Sigma sorority at Arizona State University, which I am a part of, largely focuses our philanthropic efforts on our period drive fundraiser, efforts to support NAMI, and raising awareness around invisible disabilities. This Women's History Month, Delta Sigma is teaming up with Period to distribute reusable and disposable period products to period chapters and youth-led organizations who work with and serve menstruators in need throughout the U.S. and the world. Donations from this wish list have a direct impact on period poverty, ensuring that more people will have what they need during their monthly cycle. Now, my birthday is on March 12th. I was born at 1333 and I will be 44 this year. Hello, angel number birthday portal year. And things are starting to line up in big ways and on new levels. And in lieu of sending any gifts, if any of my friends out there are listening, or if you're just like a regular podcast listener and you really want to get behind other women this month, I want to invite you to donate to the Delta Sigma Period Drive because empowered women empower women. To donate, go to the link in the show notes and shop for the period products that you want to buy to help women in need. This is a massive chance for us to learn, communicate, and create change for women everywhere. Okay, Queen, here are your next steps. Take one action today. Maybe write down your business idea. If you want, you can DM me on Instagram at PlayBigQueen. Tell me you heard the episode today and tell me what excites you about your idea. Let's talk about how we can bring your business idea to life. If this episode sparks something in you, share it. Tag me on Instagram or wherever you play on socials. I'm PlayBigQueen on all the channels where I play. And share this episode with a friend or sister and let's keep this energy moving. March is not only the month where yours truly was gifted to the world, but it's a month of empowerment. It's a month of action and stepping into your next level. Your vision is ready for you. Are you ready for it? And if you're not, let's work on getting committed to playing bigger than we ever have before because we smash the patriarchy with every step we take towards our big, bold vision, no matter how small the step. All right, boo-boo, that's it for this episode. I'm going to see you next Monday for my birthday episode. Same time, same place. And until then, keep playing Big Queen. Okay, that's it for this episode of the Play Big Queen podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. As always, eat the fruit, spit out the seeds, take what nourished you, keep what resonated for you, and leave the rest because ultimately, you know best. This episode is over until next time, but we can keep this thing going. Go to xxxkatebailey.com, scroll to the bottom where it says join our community and get on the email list to get all the juicy details about all my offerings and where Play Big Queens play together online, on social media, and in person. We've got a tight community of women claiming their boldest desires, celebrating wins, playing all out, fiercely standing for each other, and going higher together. Go to xxxkatebailey.com, put in your email address, and confirm your subscription. Once you're in, you'll get all the juicy guides, tips, and inspirations, and you get notified first about all the offers we have for all the big stuff we're doing over here. Go to xxxkatebailey.com to stay in the loop. That's xxxkatebailey.com. If you like what you heard in this podcast, subscribe, share it with your friends. And if you got something from this, I would appreciate some reviews and ratings. When you take the time to review the podcast, it helps our podcast get out to more women who need it. If you haven't already, head over to iTunes and Spotify and show Play Big Queen some love. Also, I want you to know that my door is always open and I will always make space for you to be heard and to honor your experience. The views expressed in this podcast are through the lens of my personal identity and my own lived experience. I am a European mix, Mediterranean mutt who is an Italian, Sicilian, cis heterosexual woman born in New York, experiencing the world in a white body as a multiply neurodivergent who lives in a neurodiverse and racially blended family. And like everyone else, my one single perspective comes with its own limitations. I have done personal and professional work around anti-racism, diversity, equity, equality, and inclusion. I am not a therapist or doctor, and any coaching or advice cannot take the place of professional medical, mental health, or healing help. However, That being said, what happens in my work is often a very powerful, additional, supplemental, or alternative way to heal around identity work, mindset, and emotional wellness. Although I am not a licensed therapist, it is worth noting that in addition to being a mentor, I am trained and certified in emergency medicine and response. I have rendered care to over 20,000 patients in the course of my career. I have taught over 15,000 students, many of which had learning disabilities that were undiagnosed and came from diverse cultural backgrounds. I was also a private health college adjunct professor who was responsible for training medical professionals on how to respond to trauma and behavioral emergencies. If you approach me with any concern, you will be met with professionalism, compassion, tact, understanding, support, and a readiness and a willingness to advocate for your needs. That being said, sometimes I just get it wrong. I am a human being on my own growth journey after all. When I mess up, I'm always available for a courageous and crucial conversation that makes way for growth and healing. Your experience and voice matters to me. I sincerely welcome any feedback you feel called to share. You can email your comments or concerns to info@playbigqueen.com, knowing that I am open to having any and all crucial conversations needed. Okay, remember, you are brilliant. Celebrate yourself, value your own unique way, and honor your own timing, because you can totally create a life and business that feels good and is successful on your terms. Remember to release expectations of what you think your play big process should look like, and be willing to do the work that needs to be done to play big. But most of all, when you come face to face with your boldest desires, remember to trust yourself and play big, queen. Hi, queen. I see you're in it for the long game. If you reach this part of the podcast episode, it means you're interested in learning more about my work, my values, my mission, and my community. So let's go deeper together. I am here to activate neurodivergent women to play bigger and to show you that you are so capable of doing big things, and that if you value your own unique way and honor your own timing, you will learn to receive your boldest desires and so much more. In my world, what makes you different is valued, celebrated, honored, and welcome. I welcome all who identify as female and non-binary folk in my Play Big Queens community. We believe in and support LGBTQIA+2S, Black Lives Matter, women's and pro-choice rights, and obviously intersectional identities, including disabilities, neurodivergence, and religious beliefs. Personally, I am pro-sex worker rights, pro-Palestinian liberation, against Islamophobia, and against anti-Semitism, and I'm also against any cult-like religions that use beliefs as an excuse to indoctrinate people into abusive, autocratic systems. Like many neurodivergent people, we have big hearts and a strong sense of social justice around here. You are encouraged to stay and play in our Play Big Queen community if you share these values. For those who find the word queen does not resonate, perhaps because of imperial associations, the Play Big self archetype can take any form, and the invitation and activation remains the same. To learn to embody your Play Big self, to operate from love instead of fear, to go on a play big journey in community because you know that no play big queen can truly play big alone. To decide to cultivate the courage to use your voice, unmask, reclaim, embrace, and embody your brilliance, and create a life and business that works with the unique way that you work. Through this work, you will come to know the truth of your brilliance deeply. And as you come to know your authentic self, more and more will begin to open up for you. Knowing your unique brilliance will lead to great success and true belonging. In this world, we take the pressure off and learn to step off the traditional path so you can blaze your own trail. My mission is to get you motivated, inspired, and equipped to get into massive action and go on your very own Play Big journey. My mission is to empower at least 10,000 women to fully step into their Play Big self by offering healing, transformative, inclusive, and neurodiverse affirming coaching and content. Through innovative coaching programs, courses, and masterclasses, we provide the tools, support, sustainability, and community needed to help each woman embrace her unique path to confidence, success, and meaningful impact. If just 10,000 women with invisible disabilities and their allies were empowered with neurodiverse affirming and inclusive communication to express their unique brilliance, step into their authority and autonomy, and lead, the world would experience a profound shift towards inclusivity, innovation, and empathy. These women would break through societal limitations, modeling resilience, creativity, and strength of diversity. Their voices and perspectives, often shaped by unique experiences with challenges and perseverance, would redefine business leadership, inspire systemic change, and create spaces where diverse ways of thinking are not just accepted, but celebrated. Industries and communities would become more accessible and inclusive with practices that honor varied ways of working, communicating, and achieving. This change would ripple into every area of life and society. Workplaces would become more adaptable, offering a culture of respect for individual strengths. Healthcare and education systems would improve, centering accessibility and compassion in their approaches, and policies would evolve to better support those with invisible challenges, benefiting society as a whole. So many women with so much potential are shrinking in the face of their own brilliance, just sitting on the sidelines waiting for permission instead of getting in the game. The activation of the latent potential in these women, their empowerment, making them visible, would inspire others, reduce stigma around invisible disabilities, and encourage everyone to lead authentically. Their successes will light the way for countless more women to rise, creating a culture of true diversity where every person feels valued, included, and emboldened to contribute their brilliance and lead with it. If you know you are ready for more clarity, confidence, and you want to embody your play big self and be supported around creating the big vision for your life and business, then send me an email at info@playbigqueen.com telling me why this work is so important for you, and we can explore opportunities to work together and make your play big dreams a reality.